but I'm a person, and I feel like, people will like you for who you are if you are true to yourself.
In professional tennis, we are used to seeing shattered records, lightning fast 150-mile per hour serves, 5-hour marathon matches, and prize checks that resemble lottery jackpots. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared the world for what unfolded under the desert sun that unforgettable evening. After playing the match of her life, muscles burning, lungs gasping for air, and adrenaline slowly fading, Alexandra Eala walked toward the net, ready to celebrate yet another stunning victory. The crowd was roaring, cameras were flashing, and commentators were already hailing her performance as one of the finest of the season. But suddenly, the stadium fell silent. From the corner of the court, a man stepped forward. He was not an official, not a coach, not even a fan. He was one of the wealthiest men in the region. Dressed in immaculate traditional robes, oil billionaire Sheikh Khaled al-Rashid made his way onto the court as security hesitated in confusion. Taking the microphone from the stunned umpire, he looked Alexandra Eala directly in the eyes and made an offer so shocking that it froze tens of thousands of people in place. $10 million. Not for sponsorship. Not for endorsement. Not for a commercial partnership. $10 million for the sweat-soaked racket still trembling in her hand. For a brief moment, the tennis world forgot how to breathe. It sounded like something straight out of a Hollywood script, yet it was very real. And what followed became one of the most emotional and unforgettable moments in modern sports history. To truly understand the weight of that moment, you must first understand who Alexandra Eala is and how she arrived at that very point. Born in the Philippines, Alexandra grew up far from the glamorous world of professional tennis. Her journey began on modest courts, with borrowed rackets, cracked practice balls, and endless determination. While many young tennis prodigies are backed by elite training facilities and wealthy sponsors, Alexandra's rise was fueled by grit, discipline, and sacrifice. Her family made difficult choices to support her dream, and from a young age, she learned that nothing would ever come easy. Eventually, her extraordinary talent earned her a place at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, where she trained under world-class coaches and alongside elite players from around the globe. There, she refined her explosive forehand, sharpened her footwork, and developed the mental toughness that would later define her career. But the road was anything but smooth. Injuries, homesickness, funding challenges, and relentless competition tested her resolve. Many would have quit. Alexandra pushed forward. Year by year, she climbed the rankings, silencing skeptics and proving she belonged among the sport's elite. Her aggressive baseline game, fearless shot-making, and unwavering composure under pressure quickly earned her a reputation as one of the most dangerous rising stars in women's tennis. Back home in the Philippines, her matches became must-watch events. Children picked up rackets because of her. Families gathered around televisions late into the night just to watch her play. By the time she arrived at this desert tournament, Alexandra Eala was no longer just a promising talent. She was a phenomenon. From her very first match, she played with ruthless intensity. Every forehand cracked like thunder. Every sprint across the court looked almost supernatural. She chased down balls that seemed unreachable, fought for every single point, and refused to surrender an inch of ground. Her opponents, many of them far more experienced, struggled to keep pace with her ferocity. But among all the spectators that day, one family watched with special attention. In the VIP box sat Sheikh Khaled al-Rashid, a man reportedly worth more than $50 billion, surrounded by private islands, supercar fleets, and towering business empires. Yet his eyes were not focused on profit margins or investment portfolios. They were fixed on his daughter, Aisha. Aisha al-Rashid had been facing serious health challenges. During her recovery, she found comfort and strength in watching tennis, especially Alexandra Eala. Something about Alexandra's fighting spirit spoke to her. Her refusal to quit. Her fearless belief in herself. In those difficult months, Alexandra became more than just a tennis player to Aisha. She became a symbol of hope. As Alexandra struck the final winner to seal her match, The stadium exploded with applause. But inside the VIP box, Aisha turned to her father and whispered something that would change everything. For her birthday, all she wanted was Alexandra's racket. Most fathers might have arranged an autograph, a photograph, or a signed jersey. But Sheikh Khaled was not most fathers. For him, anything that could be desired could be purchased. And so, without hesitation, he decided to act. Moments after match point, security parted as he stepped onto the court. Officials hesitated. Cameras scrambled. Spectators leaned forward in confusion. Silence settled across the arena like a held breath. Taking the microphone, the billionaire spoke. "I am a father," he began, his deep voice steady but emotional. "And I would do anything to make my daughter happy." Alexandra froze, unsure whether this was part of a ceremony or a security breach. She tightened her grip around her racket, heart pounding. Sheikh Khaled gestured toward the VIP box, where Aisha stood with her hands pressed against the glass, eyes shimmering. "My daughter found strength in watching you," he continued. "You gave her hope. And for that, I thank you. Alexandra Eala, I offer you $10 million for the racket you used to win today's match." A collective gasp ripped through the stadium. $10 million for a single tennis racket. Cameras zoomed in on Alexandra's face. Her eyes dropped to the worn frame in her hand, the scuffed edges, the sweat-stained grip, the countless hours of training etched into its fibers. For 5 seconds, time seemed to stop. $10 million could transform lives. It could build schools, fund hospitals, secure generations. Most people would have accepted instantly. But Alexandra did not look at the man. She did not look at the money. She looked at the child. Stepping toward the microphone, her voice calm but unwavering, she spoke. "Sir, your daughter's love for the game is worth more than any amount of money. Inspiration should not be bought. It should be shared." Then she did something no one expected. She motioned for Aisha to come down. Security hesitated, then carefully lifted the young girl over the railing. Alexandra knelt to meet her at eye level, gently placing the racket into Aisha's trembling hands. "This is for you," she whispered, "on one condition. You promise to keep fighting, just like I do." Aisha burst into tears, wrapping her arms around Alexandra's neck. The billionaire stood frozen, wiping his own eyes. Around them, tens of thousands of spectators rose to their feet, applauding through tears. The ovation thundered through the stadium for nearly 10 minutes. In that moment, the racket became priceless. Social media exploded within minutes. Videos flooded every platform. Hashtags trended worldwide. Commentators labeled it the $10 million rejection. Analysts debated whether Alexandra had made the worst business decision of her life or the greatest branding move in modern sports. But this was never about business. By refusing the money, Alexandra redefined value. She transformed an object into a symbol of compassion, resilience, and human connection. Instead of becoming a luxury collectible locked away in a private vault, that racket became a beacon of hope. For Aisha, the lesson was profound. Instead of learning that wealth can buy anything, she learned that love, kindness, and authenticity matter more than money. And the ripple effects did not stop there. Reports soon surfaced that Sheikh Khaled, deeply moved by the moment, pledged the same $10 million toward youth sports development in the Philippines, aiming to build courts, provide equipment, and fund training programs for underprivileged children. What began as a birthday wish was now transforming into a nationwide movement. Across the Philippines, tennis academies buzzed with excitement. Coaches volunteered their time. Former players offered mentorship. Children who had never touched a racket suddenly had access to training and facilities. Alexandra's 5-second decision was multiplying into opportunity for thousands. Back at the stadium, Aisha refused to let go of the racket. Witnesses said she clutched it tightly against her chest, as though afraid it might disappear. That worn grip and scratched frame became one of the most meaningful pieces of tennis memorabilia in existence, not because of its monetary value, but because it could not be bought. The billionaire himself remained unusually quiet afterward. Those close to him say the experience profoundly changed his perspective. For perhaps the first time in decades, he encountered something beyond the reach of wealth and discovered humility in the process. As for Alexandra, she walked off the court the same way she walked on, composed, humble, and focused. When reporters swarmed her, she simply smiled and said, "Some things are just for the heart." She refused to capitalize on the moment. No dramatic press releases. No social media campaigns. Just authenticity. In the days that followed, her social media following surged by millions. Endorsement offers poured in. Global brands lined up, not because she won a match, but because she demonstrated character. The tennis world responded with overwhelming admiration. Fellow players, legends, and champions praised her compassion. The WTA released a statement commending her sportsmanship, and talk quickly grew about humanitarian honors. The tournament itself became legendary, not for its rallies, but for what unfolded afterward. Organizers even discussed installing a plaque where Alexandra handed the racket to Aisha, freezing the moment in history. Psychologists later analyzed those 5 seconds of silence. Under extreme pressure, most people experience internal conflict, but Alexandra's decision reflected something deeper, values so ingrained they bypassed calculation. She did not debate. She knew. Her story highlights the profound contrast between wealth and fulfillment. Sheikh Khaled possessed unimaginable riches, yet it took a young athlete with far fewer resources to give his daughter what she truly needed: hope. As Alexandra's career continues to rise, titles will come, rankings will climb, but long after the trophies fade, this story will endure. It will be told in tennis academies, classrooms, and homes across the world. It will remind young athletes that success is not only measured in victories, but in the lives they touch. And for Aisha, this moment may ignite a lifelong passion. Years from now, when she faces her own struggles, she will remember the day her hero chose kindness over cash, and she will know that true wealth lies in human connection. This is why we watch sports. Not just for forehands and backhands. Not just for trophies and titles. We stay for the humanity. We stay for the moments that transcend competition. We stay for the stories that remind us who we are. So let me ask you, if a billionaire offered you $10 million for something deeply meaningful, what would you do? Be honest. Most of us would probably take the money. And there is no shame in that. But Alexandra showed us another path. She showed that the richest life is not measured in bank balances, but in moments of meaning, compassion, and connection. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that goodness still exists. Until next time, keep your head in the game and your heart on your sleeve.